We can chat.
and start
Cause
talking.
listen. The
I'm
The
listening.
Gray Wolves are so important.
They
Those
are.
are so
Like,
important. They literally like so many things were going wrong with Yellowstone, down to like the beavers not having good enough quality wood to make dams, and deers being overpopulated, plants were dying and stagnating, and certain areas of Yellowstone were being overgrazed because of overpopulated deer herds, and then they were like, oh, and then on an unrelated research note, the researcher was like, hey, we should reintroduce gray wolves because they're currently endangered, and like they were normally here in Yellowstone. So they go and get gray wolves and bring them in and reintroduce them and stabilize their population. Guess what fucking happened?
you would
The gray
know.
wolves, the gray wolves prey on the deer, causing the herds to move and migrate over the course of the year, which allow the plants to recover from overgrazing. Because the plants can recover from overgrazing, and even stuff like the beavers just goes back to normal. You'd have fucking thought that balancing the ecosystem balances the fucking ecosystem. Gray wolves play an extremely important part in the fucking balance of an ecosystem. A predator is necessary to keep all the prey animals in check. People don't
They
understand. And somehow people still don't understand this. Like, how do people not understand the importance of a prey animal in the area?
like a predator
A
too. Like, okay,
twitch,
okay.
a predator
Can I
animal in
add
the
in my
area.
little puts in my little paw? Okay, I
Fine.
need to also
Okay.
talk
Yeah.
about other ones like secondary like predators that are like they're not like the dominant predators. They're not like a wolf. So like you have the wolves and then you have like coyotes and like lower down.
Yes.
Those when those become the highest predator in that area, they usually are the ones that immediately get stigmatized afterwards and then they get started hunted down.
Yeah,
But
and then all of a
they
sudden we
get
have the problem that there's no predator.
yeah. And the thing is, when you suddenly do that with them, is that they don't immediately know to fear humans as quickly, too. So they're more likely to be impulsive and go around humans, and then because the stigmatization that occurs, they get shot and killed. They
Yeah,
get fucking mass murdered.
wolves have this learned habit of avoiding human settlements. There have literally been studies showing that wolf packs will settle down and find resting areas further away from human settlements than closer to them on
They will,
purpose. They are smart
yeah.
enough to understand that humans are dangerous. I should avoid humans because I am a predator, but humans are stronger predators.
And they like to kill
The
us, and they're
so
more dangerous.
I was in I was in the town hall meeting with Representative Bilbert, and I
Mhm.
swear to God, she said wolves don't recognize county lines. She said those
Yes,
words,
they
and I
do.
was like, yes, they do. They
There's
do. They
multiple
are
studies that
smart enough
all
to
that
understand where human
reinforce it.
settlements are and to avoid them.
Like there is literally studies that nearly all animals know that purely on the fact that they literally have no choice in the matter.
Yeah, because humans are invading all of their natural ecosystems. And
And their homes
the
get split
the
across by the fucking roads too.
the wolves are
Like
smart enough to like migrate and move away from human settlements and know to not attack humans and know to not go near houses unless you're like absolutely starving and desperate for food. But then there's this whole stupid livestock argument that she keeps bringing up, and it's like wolves aren't the
that
main
hasn't been in
problem.
fucking
There have
decades.
been 2 cases of livestock being attacked by wolves in Colorado. Okay? 2 cases.
Two. It's just two.
Two
You
cases,
know?
2 cases this year, and she had the gall to say, "Oh, I've heard 49 cases." No, you have not. I've done the research. In all of Colorado, there were only 2 attacks. So how is it that in just your district there have been 49?
What have you been what is wrong with your district? And where are
That
you
it's
getting this
not. What is wrong with
information?
your district that it is
Can
not
we make
reporting these 49 wolf attacks?
You know what? I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Can we make politicians be forced to bring up their sources directly in front of people
Oh
and
my god,
explain,
I wish she showed me a
like,
source so I could at least disprove it. But she can
because
just
at
go around
least
and claim
then
whatever number is
we could,
convenient for her to push her like anti-wolf agenda.
like, also, but then we would also have to not deal with so much fucking false information by them being spread around because then people would be like, hold up,
Right?
what the fuck?
I
Dude.
and this is so anti-conservationist because we just in 2023 voters made a resolution to reintroduce the gray wolf to the Rocky Mountain 2 years ago. And that those 2 years ago we made that choice as a pool of voters by our majority to reintroduce the gray wolves at 10 to 15 wolves every year. And there have only been 2 attacks as of this year after after a total of 45 wolves have been reintroduced, and we don't and a few have bred and repopulated. The issue is that those wolves understand to avoid settlements, but they're still being reintroduced as of 2 years ago. 2 years ago. D- We don't have the population stabilized here in Colorado. And the Colorado representative has the gall to be like, well, we're going to allow people to shoot the wolves now. Don't. That is wrong. That is so wrong in so
Dude,
many
like,
ways.
okay, okay.
We've
Well,
we've we have put decades of effort to get the population stable, and we just voted on a resolution to reintroduce them here in the Rocky Mountains. Don't undermine our votes and our effort into rehabilitating this species just because there have been 2 incidences, reportedly there are 49, 2 incidences of wolf attacks on livestock. Instead of
that we don't even
investing,
know is accurate.
yes, right,
And like, okay, okay, and additionally to
more
that, it's like,
livestock will die to diseases than wolf attacks.
and a lot of them are
So
dying of
why
diseases
aren't
right now
we?
because the regulations are so fucked up right now. We need regulations for a reason.
I swear to God. Oh wait, the Zenla Zone Zero is installed.
Oh,
I've
well,
been,
so
I
confirmed.
probably, it's probably been installed for probably like, I don't know, 4 minutes at this point.
Okay, okay, but
We've been rambling
I
for
can
8 minutes straight, by the way.
yeah, let me add into a point. Florida, like when we had a voting thing, the elections, like we were able to vote on certain things, and I'm not gonna talk about abortion stuff because I'm gonna get very pissy about it. But
Oh, I might too.
yeah, let's stay away from there because that will lead it to us actually screaming, like in general about the bullshit some of this shit is. But they pass a law where people can just like fucking shoot down animals. You know, I don't remember it
I'm
fully, but
so.
that's roughly what it was basically saying. Shoot out animals didn't really matter much. But the thing is, we have a lot of fucking endangered animals where I live. Like, we have more invasive animals than you would expect.
Alright, I've got to hide this game capture real quick so I can sign in.
Yeah. But people don't realize how fucked up it is until they actually have to go through and deal with what's the aftermath.
Yeah,
It's
until they
really
have to deal with the consequences, then they realize that they've screwed over the whole environment. And that's
it's
something
so
that
fucked
happened
up.
back in 1979 when wolves were hunted almost to extinction. There were only like 2,500 wolves remaining. That that's the number that you have to be below in order to get put on the list. There were less than that. And we finally got the number up to 200,000 in several areas thanks to monitoring and rehabilitation and reintroduction and conservation efforts, but we haven't reintroduced them to all of their territory that they had previously. Ecosystems like the Rocky Mountains, parts of Yellowstone, parts in Alaska, they still don't have that population of gray wolves that they had previously to balance them out. And now we're making choice to just uh hello, Leah. I
Welcome to us
welcome to
yelling.
me rambling about recent uh recent news that I've found that has made me pissed off to high hell about um removing wolves from the endangered species list because they attacked a few livestock. I am
Like they're
absolutely livid
animals.
right now.
Like, why do we treat them stupid in certain aspects and then other aspects we treat them like they're really intelligent and dangerous? Like,
I,
is there not a fucking point when they can be both?
I've been legitimately fuming all day over this point, and I really wanted to just make a stream so I could drive home how important gray wolves are to natural ecosystems, so I could emphasize my point and, you know, prove how terrible this uh piece of legislation is. I've
Yeah.
and
We
they
should make a
so
game about it, perhaps,
they
too.
they they've introduced this law to take gray wolves off of um that they've introduced this law to take gray wolves off of the endangered species list, due in part to their numbers, but also in part to the fact that they have made attacks on livestock and such um in American territories. The
Yeah.
issue I have with this is that the number of attacks have been minimal compared to deaths from livestock due to diseases or to other notwithstanding circumstances unrelated to wolves. And more importantly, we need to underline the importance that this predator animal, this ambassador species that gray wolves are, in the ecosystems that they live in. Oh, right.
Okay.
I took a
Yeah.
very long break from Zenless Zone Zero. I played it for like 4 or 5 months in a row and then totally forgot about it. So I'm trying to
And then
get
I
back
got
into
ahead
it.
of it.
And then Ymir got ahead of me in it and has been on my butt about
Nagging.
uh continuing it, and
Please,
I just
please,
kind of
please,
forgot about
please.
it.
I
Hello.
need someone to talk to. Please, I'm gonna go insane.
and I've just and I just figured it was that streaming it would I figured that streaming would offer me the opportunity to vent my frustrations and talk a little bit about gray wolves and their importance in ecosystem conservation, as well as just like giving me something to do.
Yeah. Can I also like add like some other notes too? One
Sure.
thing that kind of pisses me off in general when people like are like, "Oh, but no, they're actually like everywhere and stuff." For like things like even like insects. Sorry to bring up insects in the topic, but people treat all sorts of like wasps, bees of any sort, like they're extremely dangerous, even though most times they're extremely passive and very much extremely important to the ecosystem. Like even moths. Like I
Mhm.
hate it when people roaches and stuff. Roaches are extremely good
Oh no.
decomposers. Decompo fuck, I don't care. You know what I mean.
Decompositioners.
Decompositioners. They they literally do it the best. There's only a very minuscule amount that literally go into houses, and most of the times they're just invasive species. But also, they're perfectly fine. They're extremely clean. Like they're one of the most clean animals out there.
Yeah.
Like insects in general are extremely clean, but the way that they get treated compared to even like mammal ones, it's horrendous.
Okay, I wanna this is my stream and I wanna wrangle it back to wolves.
Yeah, you're bringing it back,
Listen.
but also hear me out. Hear
No,
me out.
wolves. Wolves.
No, hear
Please.
me out. I'm
Give
wrangling
me
it back towards it. I'm wrangling it back towards there. Okay, let me speak. Let me
Okay,
speak.
fine.
But also, if we get rid of the smaller animals too, it fucks with the larger animals in that area. They are literally all connected. Anything you do will affect other things. It's called the fucking butterfly effect. It's basic fucking logic.
And oh my god. I'm so irritated about this because they tried to delist uh uh they tried to delist gray wolves on back in 2020.
Which is
Back in 2020 when
insane.
the same administration was in control, they tried to delist gray wolves. And unfortunately, they didn't take into account all of the possible threats that could happen to wolves, genetic and otherwise. And as a result, like as a result of that, um, gray wolves ended up having their population decrease significantly. And this is combined with factors of, actual legal hunting because they were originally endangered back in 1979, which is uh, almost 40 years ago at this point. And since then, humans have developed more modern firearms, more efficient firearms, accurate firearms, different technologies to help with hunting. And human intrusion into wolf ecosystems has gotten worse and gotten more expansive.
Okay. I
Uh,
have
as a
I have political
result of that,
thoughts.
when they were uh, I don't use a webcam just because I don't like seeing my face on stream. But uh, when they were taken off of the list of endangered species, like it just it started to devastate their population again, and we were seeing wolf populations go down in a trajectory that would put them endangered again. And thank God, a judge in California actually listened to the case that environmentalist groups had and said, okay, we haven't evaluated the threats to the gray wolf population properly. We need to put them back on the endangered species list. And now they're trying it again here in 2025. And it's like you're repeating history. You're repeating the problems that we had before, and you're literally making it worse because this law is literally like this law is taking away the judge's ability to do what they did to save the wolf population.
They're asking if they want to, if they're allowed to suggest
Oh,
something.
sure. I just like, mm, you can't keep repeating history. You can't keep doing this. It's not going to be healthy for the environment. And she and the representative who's proposed this bill is like, oh, well, this is in the best interest of farming and livestock. But then she went on to say, yeah, I've heard of VTuber models. I've thought about
So
making my own, and I'd prefer it to just make my own personally.
yeah,
I like the thought
I
of
I
having my
would
own and
offer
doing
the
my own
help,
work,
but
and that's about
sometimes it's a bit more awkward. It's more fun to have faceless. I'm gonna be honest in
it.
general.
I've been sitting here on the event screen and totally not literally just rambling. But
Yeah.
so we're forcing ourselves to repeat the events that led to wolves near endangerment back in the 1970s, and we're also repeating 2020 all over again. We're not listening to the possible threats that the wolf population could have, and we're not actually putting research into the restrictions that we should put on hunting the wolf population. That that puts our ecosystem in a very serious amount of risk because we literally just spent decades trying to uh, re rehabilitate the species. I haven't had much time to work on VTuber models, mainly just because uh, I split my time between work and hobbies and learning how to code and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I'll get to it one day or another.
I
Anyways,
can help.
so
I've done that stuff before. I can't help. It's just a
mhm.
really big pain.
Yeah, I don't want there to be a repeat, and I don't want a species that I care so deeply about to just suffer again because it
Wolves
has
really
been
don't deserve it.
decades of rehabilitation for wolves, and now that they're finally, making an actual comeback, we're suddenly going to have legislation around that tries that whether intentionally or not drives them back into the ground. And that's not okay. And I'm not okay with that. As as someone who lives here in Colorado, it doesn't sit well with me. And it's it's especially for Colorado. We're our the Rocky Mountains are supposed to be our state's pride and joy. It's supposed to be an ecosystem that we deeply care about. We're literally like Denver is the mile high city, and we take
Dude, you
pride
guys are
in
so fucking
we're
proud of those fucking
we're
mountains.
proud of the 14ers and all of the mountains that we play host to, and
Like, I can
allowing
tell your state's fucking license plate a mile away.
yes, because they're all the freaking mountains. We care so much about these mountains, and yet our representative is introducing legislation that would cripple the ecosystems of these mountains because we'd be killing and hunting the wolves that we've just reintroduced.
Can I also add to the importance of why they really shouldn't be doing that, like, addition, like, long term wise, with, like, the plant stuff? Like, there's issues with the possible fact of landslides occurring eventually, either way. And if you're trying to cause something that's gonna end up making there's like an overpopulation of like deer and like other herbivorous animals, you're gonna cause issues with fucking stability, and then you're gonna cause mountains to get fucked over more and more. You're gonna cause all these fucking issues. You're gonna cause the fucking worries. Like, I'm trying to think of
she
how the water table. That's the word. The water table is gonna get lower in that area too. That's gonna affect farmers, and you're supposedly passing this to protect farmers. What you're gonna do is end up harming farmers in the long term. All because you just have this fucking bias against wolves, and you're bringing up these incorrect sets of data without telling anyone where you're getting it from. All because you feel like you're in the right.
yes.
All you're
Oh my
doing is
god.
endangering
I'm so pissed
animals
off at
and you're
her.
endangering everyone else.
And she had and during the town hall that I was in, she was going off about water quality and water supply, and she said like
I'll fight.
she informed us that a lot of our water runoff and our water supply comes from our forest, and if we don't have a
Hmm.
good forest, then we don't have a good water supply. And that sort of environmental awareness about how the factor of the ecosystem around us can affect our ability to survive out here in Colorado and our ability to thrive as a community, that is the kind of awareness that you should have regarding the whole ecosystem, not just trees and the presence of them and whether or not some are dead or not. You need to take into account animals around it. And God, my God, it pisses me off to no end how
It really
hypocritical it
does.
feels.
I I fucking hate that shit no matter what. It's like you straight up okay, you go for oh, but our water is so important, our forests are so important, and then they bring up murdering very precious predatory animals because they
In those forests and natural ecosystems that they just talked about
literally,
having pride in.
literally,
It's
like
like you
okay,
don't actually have pride in it, do you?
I'm gonna bring up bugs as an example in this case, but you know how like people are like, oh my god, save honeybees and all this stuff, when most times we actually should be focusing on the native life in that area. It's like, are you are they just gonna introduce some animal, some like wolf relative, and then be like, oh well, it'll be perfectly matched what the wolves were doing here originally? It's not. It's not. It's gonna cause issues. It's gonna.
Yes,
Gray
it
wolves work there for a reason.
they were there originally for a reason and not the brother species. And more
Yeah,
importantly, this is the gray wolves you're talking about. The gray wolves. Like, these, like,
you
this
have
is
to do it
one of
for the
the
emo kids, man.
most,
You can't fucking do
this
that.
is one of the most important species of wolf
Like it's
because it
a
covers
fucking. It covered so much.
so much. Yes. Oh my
Like
God.
they went extinct in multiple places in Europe, I believe. I think they were in Europe at some point.
What the fuck?
But they got extinct because they were hunted down. And that's what happened to a lot of European predators, and it's caused a lot of issues for them.
Yeah, just like don't why you can't
It's crazy.
profess to care about people's needs like this and then turn around and say, well, it doesn't count for this particular animal because we're having issues with it. No, you're not having issues with it. You're just looking for the easier answer. And honestly, gray wolves can be more easily deterred by adding infrastructure around where livestock is. Higher fences or electrified fences would keep wolves away from livestock. And while that may arguably cost a lot of money, the government subsidizes farms for pretty good reason to provide it with equipment to, protect the livestock. You
And
can't,
not to mention, like, okay, why were the wolves going out and going attacking livestock? Is there like an issue in the area nearby that's leading for there to be less prey?
yeah, you can't look at an incident in isolation when it is a part of an ecosystem.
You
That
can't do that in general. You're not supposed to.
you're supposed to look for the root cause rather than identify something on the surface level and just react to it. It's far too it's too short-sighted for us as humans to just react to every situation like that rather than addressing with our ability to reason and think the root causes of those issues. If wolves are attacking livestock, there must be a logical reason for it. And we can find that reason and we can address it. But we can do it without upsetting the ecosystem's balance. And it's
We
really
can do it in
upsetting
a
when
way.
they don't when people would rather go for the convenient option of let's just shoot these animals that are actually an important part to the ecosystem rather than pay attention to the balance of said ecosystem. I just am so God. It's so I don't want short-sighted people to be governing a large area like this and
I don't want. I
taking
don't think
and
people who are short-sighted should belong in government. If you're short-sighted, then you're literally just going to cause issues long term, especially with how our world is right now. You know?
yeah, I just wolves are an important thing, man. I
They
they're
are.
so important, and we can't just we need to research and understand where their population limits are in order to be able to address allowing hunting for them. And there's not there's no addressing going on with this particular bill, this direction that people are taking with
It really isn't. It's really illogical too, because like we've learned that wolves have been far more useful, and like they're not as bad as like a lot of fairy tales push them out to be. Most times, a lot of modern like
in a
normal
hundred
people who are like,
years, humans have only been bitten by wolves like 16 times.
yeah, and most of the times it's they're raised by humans so they get bit. It's almost
Actually, most of those times it was due to rabies.
well rabies too, but I meant like in
Rabies
general,
causing
like you would
aggression in
expect that.
wolves.
Yeah, but you would expect that to be more likely. Like I meant like because people also like yeah, I can keep a pet wolf, and it's like, dude, that's a wild animal. Don't do that. Don't do that, dude.
Mhm.
Like you can do that, but there's certain limits, and you should have regulations on that shit either way. But I don't think people should have a right to hunt down a good portion of animals like that, because then it leaves floodgates open for excuses of hunting down various like really endangered fucking species in general.
But the
Like
but the hunting lobby is like, oh, but we want to shoot these things. So
okay, but
let
have they
take
ever
this money
considered
and
that
let us shoot it.
they're like, oh yes, let's go shooting dogs now again
Yeah.
for sport.
Yeah.
That's literally what they're
Yeah.
saying. But if you say
Yeah.
that to their faces, they will like be like, "What?"
What?
But
No,
that's what
we're working to carefully cultivate and being very careful about managing our ecosystem. No, you're not.
mm, they're
You're not
not.
trying.
They're like there's a difference between doing it to survive and like actually like eat it, but we know they're not gonna eat those fucking wolves. We know they're not gonna do shit about the wolves. They're just gonna
They're
hunt
gonna
them
eat
down.
Chipotle. What
Yeah, they're gonna go eat Chipotle.
the
Like there's a
fuck?
difference between hunting down and then actually eating it and not being wasteful about
How
it
far along are you?
versus hmm
If I'm right here, just into chapter 3. Where are you?
um
Tell me when to stop.
um go forward, slow down. I'm trying to slow down. I'm trying to see. Go back slightly.
Oh,
Go back slightly. Slightly, 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 slightly. Slightly bit more. I'm in the. I've started the epilogue of season 1.
oh boy. That's pretty far behind.
Well, you see, Your Honor, I got a bit autistic.
Yeah, I noticed. Dude, I could go off so much about Gray Wolves, and I'm so pissed off that I didn't get the chance to ask my
They should
question.
have let you. They should have let you.
It's,
Do you know if there's a next time that it's being gone through, or is they it's it?
I don't know. I'll probably receive an email when it is, but like I just like I don't want to get hunted to extinction, man. I
No
like
animal
wolves.
deserves it.
I like wolves.
Like, oh my god, we have so many animals like predators here that should have been here, like panthers and stuff. Like literal black panthers should have been in.
You know what? No, hold on. You know what's fricked up? The
What?
fact that the representative is introducing this bill only 2 years after the voters approved the reintroduction of gray wolves into the Rocky Mountains. We approved it. We wanted this.
They're
We
like, oh yeah, secretly you'll
collectively,
change your
as
mind.
Colorado, said we want to reintroduce wolves to the Rocky Mountains and restabilize their population there. And now we're going to take them off of the endangered species list because someone else decided to. It's
And
going
it's
to
like,
undermine our vote and our efforts. We put effort into that. We put our opinions into that. That's fucked up.
it really
That is
is.
so. Ugh.
It's fucked up that governments can do that in general about stuff like that. It's so annoying.
Oh my god. Dude, this has been 37 emotional minutes for me. It feels
Yeah.
like it's been longer.
God. But punches wall. Stop. Punches wall again. Fucking up with predator animals. We need them.
Yeah,
Like, just
we need
because
them.
we need it. You can't just suddenly change an environment and expect it to be all okay. It's
You
not going to
can't.
be okay. We this also irritates me with stuff with like deforestation too. It's like when they try to be like, oh, we're gonna reforest it. They don't put any like undergrowth in there, and like also with lawns and stuff. When you know, like you see like people are like, oh yes, my lawn's perfect, and it's like it's only grass, like lawn grass, and it's like flat down, basically next to nothing. It's all
Bruh
been cut, it's
moment.
all been mowed, and they don't have anything there. It's basically dead weight. It's dead space. There's nothing in there.
Get a tree
They
in
don't
there,
have any.
please. At
Put
least.
native wildlife where you have places in your lawn. I get it that people are like, yeah, whatever, but I don't want to take the effort into it. If you put native wildlife into your yards, it's the far easier to not deal with them. You can just let them grow. They'll be perfectly fine. It doesn't matter if it looks pretty or not. It's going to help the animals nearby as well.
I had a few very
It's
nice
gonna.
morning glories grow out of the potted. So, this is a fun segue. Uh, when I last spring and summer, I believe, my dad was like, "Oh, there's a bunch of weeds in the back. Uh, maybe we should go and pull them." And then I realized that those were morning glories, and they
Morning
were
glories
just
are
kind of
beautiful.
naturally popping up around our yard. And I was like, "Hey, wait a second." And my
Just
dad was
because
like,
they
"Okay." let's plant them into the flower pots because we don't have flowers here. And those morning glories kicked ass.
Dude, yeah. Like if you can always look and
I
see
just
where
like,
what plants are native in your area as well. And oh my god, you would be surprised at how many gorgeous ass fucking plants there are
yeah, I
in your
just,
area that you might not even know of.
I think I just saw the viewer number tick up. You could totally ask me about wolves, and I will definitely go off again in case you missed it. But I would so go off about wolves as many times as is necessary to inform as many people as possible because
Please,
I
please,
am so
please,
passionate about these guys. And
please.
there's recent talk of stuff going south for them,
Yeah.
and
And
I'm
like,
pissed
okay.
about it. So
And
whoever
like, additionally, like, I don't know what the fuck these people are thinking, but like, I know these type of people are the type of people who don't give a shit about the environment in the end. They just want to look good and get the credit for doing things that people they're basically hiring and like controlling do. They don't act like I fucking love the fucking wildlife services. Those people almost always are very passionate about their work and actually care a lot about animals. It's important. The thing is, it's very important to have money going to these type of places as well because if they get funding, they're able to do more research. They're able to improve our environments and they're able to try and see if there's any ways that we could fix and adjust any issues that they come across over time. And they'll also be able to help fix the fucking water tables better if there's issues with that. Not to throw any hands, but to throw some hands.
okay, I'm literally putting it on the stream. There we go. There we go. Ask me about wolves and their ecosystem.
Dude, I'm gonna do this once where I'm gonna fucking just put like a doodle of like you being like, talk to me about wolves.
There we go. There we go. The sign's up. Taps the sign. Taps the sign. Please, I'm desperate. Ask me about it. Ask me about it, and I will go off. I will go off again and again, and I will always keep going off about wolves and how important they are.
We should have like a we should have every time you stream we should have like an animal of the day where you just go and fucking talk about them. Like
Can
you
I
do
can
research before.
can I volunteer the animal to be gray wolves every single day?
You can have various types of wolves.
Oh my god.
You can also talk about like specific like
Hold on here.
research topics about it.
I'll gray wolves. There. There. Like we'll leave that up there.
Beautiful.
We'll leave that up there so that so that people can know to ask. I'm in desperate need to talk
Please,
about wolves and their
please,
ecosystem so that I can tell everyone
please,
about it.
please. I need to talk about ecosystems or I'm gonna die. Like I'm not even like specifically on about the gray wolves. I just want to
Okay.
talk about ecosystems.
I'm specifically on wolves.
And I'm ecosystems. Together, we create the most autistic force known to man.
Oh my god.
Environmentalism.
Environmentalism. God. Environmentalism is a necessary thing. Yes, it is!
It's very necessary. Without that, you're just taking more resources than what you're supposedly giving back. And, like, dude, I don't know
Yeah,
about you, but I'm
environmentalism
pretty
developed as a movement for a reason. It's because humans are greedy asshole fucks who can't control themselves.
no, no,
And
no, no. I
as a
want to fight.
result,
I want to. May let me speak real quick about that. Humans aren't naturally gritty. It's the thing of when people go in and they don't actually, and then they just think about themselves and then they ignore others who may be like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? Or they might even just ignore other things because they have some sort of thing that allows them to not be as heavily affected. Like people like native tribes in areas, usually they were able to they last that long and they were able to stay with ecosystems, and in fact they improved the ecosystems a lot, like with salmon in certain cases where they would move salmon eggs into different streams, so now they're all over fucking America.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god.
dude, I think there's an important reason why they technically are environmentalists, even in the modern era. Why you would see a lot of tribes be extremely environmentalist. They care. They give a shit. But why would some rich person with a giant fucking yacht typically give a shit if they've been told their entire lives and never learned to look outside of themselves as
In the
well?
words of Paramore, it's easy to ignore trouble when you're living in a bubble.
Literally.
So what you gonna do when the
So like
world
the
don't
Plato's
orbit
cave analogy of
around you?
like looking at, like eventually looking behind you and seeing a world outside, but not willing to accept it as reality because what you see in front of you, what you've seen your entire life, is what you prefer.
Mm-hmm. It's more convenient to ignore the fact that you're not causing problems when you are causing problems.
Literally.
Bruh, I left for a few months and the Ethereals have become intelligent.
Dude, I took a few month long nap and you're telling me
This
these
is
guys
what
have brain
happens
cells?
when conservation efforts aren't taken into account. Someone took away the predator in the ecosystem with the Ethereals and now they're growing intelligent and coordinating against us.
Dude, someone got rid of the butcher and now they're
Oh
all getting
fuck.
intelligent. Who who did that? Hmm.
I wonder who did that. The butcher's an
Sluts.
endangered species.
The butcher's an endangered species.
And we just blew one up.
Well,
Oh
you
my
see, Your
god.
Honor, you know, I
I
understand shooting an endangered
look,
species if it's like the only way for you to live, but like, dude, what
if
the fuck?
if it's in self-defense, no, listen. I the the whole point of the bill was so that farmers can defend themselves and their livestock from wolf attacks. I
Yeah,
would like to highlight that I am fine with farmers defending themselves and their
yeah.
livestock. My problem is that instead of saying, oh, it's okay for farmers to defend their livestock from wolf attacks, they are instead going too many steps further and taking all protections against hunting of gray wolves away.
Literally.
It would be all right if it was just allowing farmers to protect their livestock, but it is not. It's so much more than that. And
Bring
I
up the
am,
law?
and I'm pretty sure that the representative is aware of the fact that it is more than that. I'm pretty sure there are ulterior motives that they are not talking about, such as lobbying from hunting and fishing to get the gray wolf back on the list of things that can be hunted down and skinned for its pelt.
And not to
But
mention, like,
she's not going to say that out loud because if she did, everyone would be pissed.
yeah, because, like,
And
number
everyone
one,
would rightfully
poaching
point
is
out that that's
bad.
bullshit.
Poaching is horrendous in general. Like, it's extremely wasteful.
Oh, it's
It's,
so wasteful.
it's, it's extremely fucking wasteful. It fucking just demoralizes animals to just this one part of them. It ignores any part of their life cycle, any part of interesting little tidbits about them, and it's horrendous. Like, let's go for the case for like dugongs and stuff. Like Florida, we have manatees and stuff, which is basically uh, dugongs. They're basically the same thing, roughly. But across the globe, they're basically all extinct because they got hunted down because how tasty they were, and they basically got poached for it. And now there's issues with seagrass and stuff in those areas, if I believe
Uh-oh.
correctly, remember correctly.
There's
So
so
in
much.
cases like wolves, what the fuck? Why would you do that? We've seen what happens when we let
We've
animals go
seen what
extinct
happens
in
when we
areas.
overhunt and get rid of this population of predators that is necessary for the ecosystem. So why are you doing
Literally.
it again?
How are you not learning from your fucking mistakes? Because those wolves, they definitely have. How are you worse than a fucking wolf?
How are you stupider than a wolf? You know what? No. I- I'm proud to say you're stupider than a wolf because I love wolves
I can't
and
believe.
damn, they're
Yeah.
intelligent.
I can't
Go
believe the animal
fuck
you're
yourself.
trying to allow to get fucking slaughtered and poached is smarter than you.
It's smarter than you. It's smarter than you. It's better than you. I'd rather have a wolf be my representative in Congress than you.
Truth.
Fucking
Truth.
idiots.
I would rather a fucking puma fucking became my state's representative. Fuck.
I,
Even our
w-
governor. I
I
would
wish
love
the
for it to be
I
governor.
wish the
Please, please,
cougars
please,
I
please,
wish the
please.
cougars eating people's faces party all turned into cougars and ate one another's faces.
I wish Florida's governor a very turn into a wolf and then act like a wolf. And and then we never have to see him again.
Because he's no longer on the endangered species list.
This, I mean,
Oh my god.
yeah, but
Hold on. I hate this. The little alerts trigger my OCD
I
so
hate
much
the alerts so
that
bad
I
because there's
spend
no.
like 15 minutes clearing
You
them
have to
all.
click through all of them. It
Yeah, I
really
know.
pisses me off for like all games that do that way. Because why can't they do it like a read all instead of like click 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 click? It's irritating the shit out of me.
Yeah, I had a feeling she was soldier. She was a soldier something. Anyways, I haven't done anything, but I haven't done anything in Zenless Zone Zero. I swear to God, I'll I'll eventually do something. Her again.
You be nice. You be niceys.
Well, what is the? Can we figure out the rotation for these characters? What if I just saved up? What if I just saved up for someone?
You should. I not to be
No
biased,
one,
but
no one in particular. No one in particular.
I only handle technical matters. Don't look at me.
yeah.
God, we've almost been going off for an hour now.
I. Yeah.
We're reaching
Environmentalism
an
brings
hour.
that to us.
We're reaching an hour. No, I don't want to find out what your recommended is. I'll do it myself. Oh my god, I've got enough of her to complete her. She's C6 now. She's C6 and I barely use her.
I'm
Why
sorry.
can't I get C6 with someone else?
Like Ben Bigger.
Points at him. That would work too. You know what, honestly? Trying to hunt operations. Check out addition details. Oh,
I
God.
mean, a point to him, Gray Wolf. Gray Wolf Core. Gray
Grey
Wolf
Wolf Core,
Core.
Grey Wolf Core, Grey
Gray
Wolf
Wolf
Core,
Core.
Grey
Gray
Wolf,
Wolf Core.
Grey Wolf. Yeah, love my Grey Wolf representation in Zenless Zone Zero. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I don't I don't think I like even have a direction yet. Hold on.
I had a direction. It was my little meow meow.
Okay, we're not doing the events. We're gonna
Catch up on
deal
the
with the
story.
we're gonna deal with the side quests and catch up on the story.
Oh, this is fun. Damn. It's been a while.
Withering Garden Core.
I only handle technical matters. Ready for combat.
Do you know what stuff you
Coastal.
need for him to like full level up? Maybe you can go after that.
God, I should level up some of these characters a bit more. Hold on, what's the recommended level? I'm not ready for that yet. Wait, sure. Well,
I'm at your disposal.
focus.
Focus. I need to focus.
Tori's Hunt.
Oh fuck yeah, box.
Okay, so
Let's
those.
start the experiment.
I shall follow your orders.
Let's think. I need 5, 10, 42, 42 of the purple freeze chips. 42 purple freeze chips. 6 ethereal pursuits. And 2 finale dance shoes. Then I need to work on his equipment. Because I'd like to get a good set of stats and stuff for him. Recommended priority drive discs. Really?
What's in here? Ooh. Useful. They go around. You know, it's been such a while since I played Zenless Zone Zero myself.
Okay, what are the suggestions for Lycaon? Crit rate in 4, ice damage in 5, impact in 6, and impact is already there. Ice damage bonus in 5. Can I actually design one of those already? 6th Street or 6th Street? Ah. I keep pressing E to interact with things. That's not the button.
It's F.
Yeah, I know.
You can change it.
Okay, I need a tuning calibrator to tune down to. What? My God. That's a lot. That's a lot of stonks that I do not have. Okay, I'm gonna work on the marionettes instead.
I only handle technical matters. Ready for combat. Ambi, in position. Nothing to fear. The cunning hairs are here. I only handle technical matters. Standing by. Need something? My services are Let's start the
Starlight, it's time to shine!
So chatty during the first hour, and now I'm burnt out.
Yeah, because he got all into it.
I got really passionate about it.
Get away from me!
In my sights!
Oh, I'm kind of picking back the skills from before.
I love his animations, yeah. He's phenomenal, though.
Behave now!
Move over! Time for the real show!
We'll never back down.
Starlight, shine bright! Eyes up!
Buckle up! Let me give you a little treat! Eliminating target.
Oh, that was bad.
Starlight Knights, assemble!
They're exposed. Pick the pace. This won't hurt.
Starlight, never dies!
Wreck shop time.
Watch out. Ain't done yet. An opening. Bye-bye, suckers. Fracture. Behave now.
Move over! Time for the real show!
We'll never back down.
Wait, is there just...
They're exposed.
Stand still! I got you! My bullets never lose sight of their target!
Preparing takedown.
Isn't it over? Try this!
Neutralize.
Starlight Knights, assemble! Don't move!
Is everyone's ultimate charged separately now?
Yes, it's beautiful, ain't it?
Oh god, it's a little disorienting because I was used to I was
Yeah, but
used
it's
to single
useful.
ultimate.
It's useful now though, long term, because then you can actually save up your fucking ultimates and you not be like, shit, I accidentally did the wrong person's ultimate.
In my
And then
sights.
ruin your supports.
Chop, chop.
Behave now.
Move over. Time for the real show. Here we go again. Let's do it. Not good.
Oh god.
Reading the explanations, explanations of the characters, Tom blew up. You play fuckity ball.
Eliminating target.
I when running the cunning hairs, I always try to get Nicole to go last because she generally calls an assist
Yeah.
automatically. Oh,
Billy! I'll make them pay. At your command.
Together now. Starlight never dies.
Billy, where did you come from? Eh.
Let me give you a little treat. Like, fracture.
Okay, I'm getting pretty pissed at this stupid boss fight.
They're both.
It's the two that had like the ability to revive each other.
Oh, I know this one. This one fucking sucks. It's forever. The ballet twins fucking suck.
I want a bonus for this.
Got him. Okay. I was about to revive sister again. Sibling. Rank A, of course it is. Took forever. 5 minutes? You gotta plan that out carefully. I'm glad I got to ramble about conservation with you for like an hour. Help me vent the frustrations of not being able to talk about conservation issues publicly. In the stupid town hall that only lasted an hour. This is my hour.
My hour of yelling.
My hour. My yelling hour.
finish. Working them all out. There's nothing that. Bye bye, suckers. Fracture. Happening. This won't hurt.
Starlight never dies!
We'll never back down.
Keep it up! Try this! Bang!
They're exposed.
It's my turn!
Happening. Watch out.
Showtime!
Neutralize. Just leave it to me. They're exposed.
Starlight Knights, assemble!
At your command. It's no good surrendering.
Together now, maximum firepower!
Target confirmed. Go. Neat and tidy.
Now or never, maximum firepower! Whoa, let's move! It's my turn!
Happening.
Stand still! Don't worry, everyone will get their share! Quit move, not good! I've got
Nice. Let me give you a little treat. Like that. They're exposed. Fracture. Evade now.
perfect! In my sights!
Behave.
Move over! Time for the real show!
Stay on guard.
Yes. Okay. Ah, I stopped the first revive this time.
Let's go.
432 S rank. Let's go. Honestly, I just wanted S rank.
Let's start the
Okay, like Kaon. Get your shoes. Now it's expert challenge.
I have 2 guns, so double the accuracy.
Get away from me!
Envy, I'll cover you.
At your command. Neat and tidy. An opening.
Leave it to Billy.
I'm here. I'll take care of them. Okay. Moving up. Behave now.
Move over. Time for the real show. I've got plenty of bullets.
Okay. They're close.
Watch out.
All
He's
right.
out of the woods yet. It's showtime!
Gotta run. Get it. An opening. Eliminating target.
Let's switch, Ambi.
I want a bonus for this.
I got you.
This won't hurt.
Starlight never dies.
We'll never back down.
Never, never.
Jackpot! Eyes up.
My bullets never lose sight of their target.
Preparing takedown. Taking them all out. There's nothing. They're exposed. Neutralize.
Starlight, shine bright.
Wow. Them all having separate ultimates is kind of insane.
It really is. It's useful, but oh god, gotta get used to that.
Yeah. Alright, I have enough. I have enough of Serial Pursuit.
I only handle technical.
I'm at your disposal.
Yoink. Now to gather up a bajillion freeze clips. Chips.
I shall follow your orders.
You shall. Sorry.
You good?
Yeah.
Alright.
Just winding down from the boiling fury of people not caring about wolves. Care about wolves. They're important. Please. I can't emphasize this enough. I love them so much. Voice of a man who is normal about wolves. Ask me about my wolves. I can be so normal.
I can be so normal.
I
and
can be
so
so
like,
normal about wolves. We talked for an hour about this. I started streaming exclusively because of this.
Behave. There's both.
I got you.
Copy that. Pick on. Target confirmed. Go. At your command. Neat and tidy.
You rang?
Oh god.
What are you waiting for? To catch a bullet? Bang!
Okay. Standing by. Fine. Roger. This won't hurt. Not.
Starlight never dies!
Okay. Let me give you a little treat. Like this. Neutralize. Time's up. Behave now.
That wasn't the right choice.
Time for the real show! Starlight, shine bright! Don't move!
Standing by. This won't hurt. Not.
Starlight never dies! Quit moving!
The ideal combo, especially with the cunning hairs, depends on the number of passes you're able to make. If you're able to make only 2, the best choice is Anby first, then Billy second, because you're gonna end with a staggered enemy, and you want Billy to be up front because he's the damage dealer. If you only have 1 pass, it depends on the character, but generally I'll go for Billy just to have the damage out. If Billy is the character that triggered the stagger, then I'll go for Nicole instead, just to get anomaly procs. But if it's a triple pass, then you're gonna want Nicole to be last, so that she can pass to whoever's next with her assist ability.
Behave now. Happening.
Let's switch, Amby!
I'm here. This won't hurt. There's both. Behave now.
Actually, I take it back. If you're only doing a single pass, it depends on the situation. If you're dealing with a single enemy, pass to Billy. But if you're dealing with a horde of enemies, having Nicole always able to pass to Anby keeps it like in a string of repeatedly staggering enemies. And it's so good.
Move over! Time for the real show! Bang!
I'm here.
I've got plenty of bullets! Quit moving!
Fine. Standing by. Okay. Fracture. It's up to you.
What are you waiting for? To catch a bullet?
It's no good surrendering. And happening. Nice one, Billy. Wanna run?
Demo. How we go.
Billy's up! Starlight, shine bright!
Make a choice.
My bullets never lose sight of their target!
Neat and tidy. There's both.
Let's go again. Let's go again.
Time to act.
What are you waiting for? To catch a bullet? Stand still!
I'm here. Roger. Thunder. This won't hurt. Not.
Move over! Time for the real show!
Fine.
You rang? Try this!
What's this? I'm here.
Envy, I'll cover you!
Fine. And opening.
My bullets never lose sight of their target!
It's no good surrendering. They're exposed.
Billy time! Don't worry, everyone
Everyone
will
will
get
get their
their
share.
Okay. Wanna run? Get it. And opening. Fracture.
What are you waiting for? To catch a bullet?
Neat and tidy. They're exposed.
Don't move!
Standing by.
You rang? Quit moving!
Also, something that I've been meaning to learn and abuse the power of is the fact that your allies, your fighters will stay in the fight to finish their most recently given command before they switch out. So
Yeah.
if you can get them to hit a skill that takes a while, they'll still be dealing damage, and it's like
Yeah.
bonus damage
It's
while
very
you're
useful, to be
fighting with the
honest.
other guy.
Like, especially with ults and stuff, some
Mhm.
characters are, like, perfectly made for it, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Evade now. I'm here. This won't hurt. And opening. Behave now.
Starlight never dies! Quit moving! Bang! Try this! My bullets never lose sight of their target!
It's no good surrendering. Fine. Let me give you a little treat. Like this. Fracture. Time to
What are you waiting for? To catch a bullet?
electric charge.
Billy time! It's showtime!
Okay. This won't hurt. Not.
Move over! Time for the real show!
Yeet.
I only handle.
I shall follow your orders.
No, I think I'm gonna go for now. But you take care.
You take care as well.
And hopefully they fucking get their shit together, you know? Night night.
Probably won't, but good night. There we go.
One, two, yes, all accounted for. Touch my tail?
And that. Dragging me back to the outpost again. Swear to God. Hmm.
I submitted my self-reflection report a while back, but the Institute ignored it until recently. As I expected, no major consequence.
You just heard back from the Institute, and you're planning to break the rules again? Didn't you get into trouble
Don't put it like that. I had to write the report due to failure to identify and report a breach in the confidential database firewall, resulting in... Oh, and also for recklessly launching an investigation that put myself and the enthusiastic I have already reflected on my mistakes. As a member of the Institute, my vigilance against sensitive information and caution in conducting hollow investigations are still lacking. Which is why, the moment I spotted another security breach,
Hearing that from you, I'm not sure I buy it. The Institute's confidential database has...
Well, in any case, I've already compiled everything about the breach into my weekly report, but at the end of the day, I'm just a nobody in the Institute. Who knows when the higher-ups will read footnote 17 on page 4, subsection 21 of my report. Now, back to the matter at hand. Before I accidentally access some of the Institute's confidential files through the security breach, I stumbled across research on combat boosters. There's a whole new line of combat boosters. Based on my preliminary observations, they are likely artificial etheric coagulum, similar to
Precious relics. Aren't those made from the data and samples collected from...
That's right. However, I found that the samples and data used to create the new
Didn't you say that you were planning to analyze Geppetto?
No one did. I've been monitoring the outpost mission logs. But in fact, the outpost has plans to demolish the aircraft hangar and logistics station outside the observation deck to facilitate observing Hollow Zero up close. The reason it hasn't happened yet is because they're still waiting on... So, we'll have to take things...
Wait, that's...
You're my trusted independent investigation team captain, and the only one I've shared my investigation results on Geppetto with.
All right. I won't let you down on something so important.
Great. Don't worry. Be it fieldwork or data analysis, the moment we have something new, I'll come...
Wow, there's a lot of stuff going on. I am so behind.
You're up early. Want to try my special Bang Boo combo? Have a good one. Please, come again.
I'm feeling especially burnt out at this point, so I think I'm gonna call it here. Alright, good night, y'all.